Ladies and gentlemen, if you will, a round of applause to the memory of the man whose vision and dreams 60 years ago brought us here tonight, Leo Fender. Leo Fender. Thank you. Thank you. Perhaps the best way to sum up Fender's impact on the music industry and the music we love is simply to say that we can't imagine popular music without Fender. We can't imagine rock and roll without Telecasters and Strats, or surf music, funk, soul, Motown, honky-tonk, country, western swing. We can't imagine much of anything in popular music without the Fender bass. Even if you took away the guitars and the bass, we have Fender amplifiers. It's hard to imagine popular music without Fender amps. As our friend Paul Reed Smith said, I don't think I've ever been in a recording studio that didn't have a Fender amp or several Fender amps. And on stages, large and small, around the world, Fender makes the amps that players of all styles have come to depend on. Now, when we think of making history, we think of the classic recordings, the iconic moments, the historic performances. Buddy Holly with his Fender on Ed Sullivan, Jimi Hendrix with his Fender at Woodstock, at Monterey. From Jimmy Bryan and James Burton to Eric Clapton, Eric Johnson, and so many others. Giants of metal like Yngwie Malmsteen, all the great bass players. We love their music. We have come to call them by their first names, Jimmy and Eric, Stevie Ray. But when it comes to making history, the iconic moments and the classic performances are really only part of the story, because much of that history over the past 60 years has been made in roadhouses and juke joints and bars and restaurants, on wedding gigs and casuals. Fender makes history in the hands of musicians all over the world who make their living from playing music and perhaps never get famous, or simply play for the love of playing while holding down their day jobs. Tonight, as we celebrate the great artists, the famous names, we also celebrate all those other players. We don't forget the 15-year-old girl or boy in the living room with a Squire and a Champ, practicing for the talent show in the high school gym. For 60 years, countless players of all styles have made a history of their own with their Tellys and their Strats and their P basses and J basses, with their twin reverbs and their Champs and their Deluxes. All around the world, Fender makes history. And what better way to celebrate the making of history than to make some history of our own right here, right now, on this stage. Oh boy. I get to introduce the house band right now. Our bass player tonight was mentored by George Duke and Stanley Clarke. His talent was recognized early on. He's played with Whitney Houston, with J-Lo, Bette Midler, Gladys Knight, Aaron Neville, Tina Turner, Barbra Streisand. It's a very, very long list. On bass, please welcome Fender signature artist. It's enough of that, he says. Reggie Hamilton. Oh, you're going to hear a lot more. Our drummer tonight, a great pal of Reggie. They worked together for many years. He is one of the most sought-after drummers in the music business. Just ask Mick Jagger, John Fogerty, Joe Cocker, Elton John, Bonnie Raitt. It's a very, very long list. Please welcome on drums, Kurt Biscara. Our house guitarist tonight and band leader, played with Hall & Oates for years, played with Bob Dylan for years, Mick Jagger, David Bowie. He's well known for leading the band on Saturday Night Live for 10 years. I think it's the only time in my life where I've actually looked forward to commercials because I couldn't wait to see what amazing vintage piece he was going to be playing when they cut away. As a band leader, he has directed George Harrison, Eric Clapton, Tom Petty, Neil Young, and many, many others. What's remarkable to me about this gentleman is that he can put together artists of that stature, bring out the best in all of them, make his style work with a diverse array of styles of other artists, and yet at the same time, assert a powerful artistic vision of his own. Please welcome Fender signature artist, America's rock and roll band leader, G.E. Smith. G.E. Smith.
Woo! Well, I was riding number 9 and heading south from Carolina. I heard a long, some whistle blow. You're just a kid acting smart. I went and broke my darling's heart. I heard a long, whistle blow. The kid acting smart, oh, and broke my darling's heart. I guess I was too young to know. They took me off the Georgia main and locked me to a ball and chain. I heard a long shame, and I'm a number, not a name. I heard a long, some whistle blow. All I do is sit and cry when the evening train rolls by. I heard a long, some whistle blow. Now I'll be locked here in a cell until my body's just a shell, and my hair turns whiter than snow. I'll never see that gal of mine. I'm in Georgia doing time.